All right, everybody that wasn't able to make it today at today's class, sorry you missed it, but we're going to be going through this particular lesson on how to play Jay Ungar's Lover's Waltz. I'm going to share my screen a second. I'm hoping that everybody that is in the class can see my screen. Can you guys raise your hand if you guys can? You guys can see my screen? Awesome. So I'm going to give you guys a link to this particular resource just in case you guys don't have the music. And hopefully you guys have actually heard the piece. I've been listening to it quite a bit. Let me give you guys just a quick link of where you can listen to it. You guys are muted, so you guys feel free to do that. Just to get an idea of what he's doing. It's at the very bottom of that link I just sent you guys. So what Jay Ungar does is he takes the bass notes of this piece, which is not too hard, and most of you guys can probably figure out how to play the notes, the bass notes we call them, in Fiddle. But what's difficult and what makes it cool is adding in some of the extras. So some of the little grace notes he's putting in, the slides, vibrato, different things that really add a lot to the piece. So I'm definitely going to show you guys how to do that. Maybe just go through the first line to start, give you guys some suggestions of ornamentation, and have you guys go from there. So if you guys have your instruments handy, feel free to grab them, and you guys can definitely play along and try to match what I'm playing and how I'm playing it. So I'm going to try to be as close as I can to the way Jay Ungar plays it. He plays it wonderfully, and although he would play it honestly different ways each time, I think it would be cool to learn it exactly like he played it. So basically, the way he starts the piece, he actually puts a slur in. So I'm going to grab my pen here. Raise your hand if you guys can see my pen mark and me writing in the music here. All right, so I would start the piece up bow. And when you get to the D, I want you guys to really vibrato that note. He's really doing that. And one thing that I notice when he's playing this piece, Lover's Waltz, is that he really puts a lot of index pressure into the bow to be able to achieve kind of a really strong vibrato at the beginning. Sorry if you guys, Christy says she can't hear me. Raise your hand if you guys can hear me okay. Okay. Apologize for those that can't hear me. Looks like most of you can. Okay, good. All right, so we have the up bow at the beginning, and then I really want you guys to really emphasize that first note of the downbeat, that D, and put some pressure into the bow and just really sing that note. It really adds kind of just this really nice start to the piece. So like this. So he actually does a little grace note right to start. He does a ton of grace notes in here, so you guys are going to see a lot of these that I put in. But what he does is he kind of takes the previous note and slurs into it, like that. And I'm actually not going to put the stems on any grace notes because that would take a lot of time, and I won't be that accurate. So anytime I put a dot, a small dot like that, that's a grace note. So this is what he's doing at the beginning. Okay. I'm going to go back to my screen a second so you guys can see me. Raise your hand if you guys can see me okay. Can you guys see me? Not yet? Okay. Thanks, Peter. So basically what I want you guys to do at the beginning of this piece is really put a lot of index into the bow, because that's what's going to give you that kind of really solid start to the piece, that vibrato that Jay Ungar does. That sounds really cool. So basically what the difference is, a lot of students would go. See if you can tell the difference between that and. Raise your hand if you guys can tell the difference. Maybe not. I was a little bit stronger because I put more pressure into the bow. So by putting more pressure into the bow, I kind of got more of a stronger response from the tone. So instead of just playing like a light vibrato, light index, light bow hand, try to really dig in there. Don't use your whole hand, just the index. Don't use your arm to do it. That will cause bad sounds. But basically what we're going for is just a really strong beginning there with that grace note. All right, let's go back to our music. So we have a nice strong beginning. So he does a ton of grace notes. He actually does 1 into the 4. So let's put that in there right here. And by the way, guys, I will make a screenshot of this if you'd like. So raise your hand if you guys are interested in a screenshot after I'm done, so you guys can see the ornamentation I put in. Okay, cool. All right, so he actually slurs all of these together. There's going to be a lot of he does a lot to this piece, so just to let you guys know. And some of you guys haven't been playing as long. Just try to do whatever you can. If you haven't learned vibrato yet, don't worry about it. Just maybe put in some of the slurs I suggest. It's all up to how advanced you are. So, but I'm definitely going to give you the exact J. Ungar presentation here. So let's see what we got so far. Like that. And then what he does here, he does that quite a bit. Whenever you see an E, this E right here, what he does is he a lot of times goes up 1 grace note, ba ba, to here, back to an E. Okay, and he slurs everything together. So he basically goes up a note in the scale, goes back to the note, and then does the run. So, but you got to make sure that the grace notes are faster than the 8th notes. You can't go, because you actually play too many beats there. You want it to be 3/4 time, three beats in a measure. So this is basically the grace notes in the note, and then like that. Raise your hand if that makes sense so far. All right. So let's see what we got so far. Like that. And that sounds exactly how he does it in his YouTube clip. Okay, the next thing that J. Ungar does is he puts in a 4th finger here, which actually is going to be a drone. So whenever I do this, a 4/open means drone. I'm just going to put DR. Okay, raise your hand if you guys know what a drone is. Okay, a drone is basically where you play both 4th finger and open at the same time. And what you do actually is you slide into the 4, which makes it sound fiddly, instead of just trying to nail it right with 4 and open. If you try to nail just 4 and open, it's going to sound like this. But it sounds cooler when you slide into it. It actually can make it easier to play in tune because you're kind of sliding into the intonation. So if you guys have your instruments right now, try to just to go 4th finger on the G string while playing your open D string, and see if you guys can get this sound. Like that. So that's a very common drone that he does in this piece. That's going to come up quite a bit. So if you guys can practice that this week, that would be very cool. Okay, and he does it really slightly, and what he does is he actually has a very light bow hand while doing it, kind of just like a very, he brings into it kind of soft. So for those of you guys that are more advanced, your bow hand, just kind of manage your index as far as don't press hard during that drone, kind of work into it. So like this. Okay. Now what he does here, he actually does some double stops, or drones you could call them actually. But what he basically is doing is he's playing open G all the way through these 2 notes, and then D. Excuse me a second, guys. Someone's at my door. set. I actually have a webinar due too. So can you come back tomorrow potentially? Or we'll do another thing.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Okay.
All right, raise your hand if you guys can hear me okay. Sorry about that. You're still with me. All right, excellent. I didn't get a lot of raised hands. Can I get some more? Raise your hand if you're with me. Awesome. Okay. So basically what I started to show is measure 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. We're going to be playing open G with these two notes. And then we're going to be playing open D with these two notes. So basically they're drones or double stops, whatever you want to call them. So let's just take those 4 notes and see if we can do that. So it's going to be like this. Like that. So there's a lot of things in here. He doesn't do a lot of finger double stops. He does a lot of drones in here. So it's not as hard as you might think. You just have to make sure that your bow is in between 2 strings and make sure that your bow hand's relaxed so that you can get a nice double stop. It's all about just contact, not force. If you try to force that, it's going to sound really scratchy. So like that. All right, let's see what we got so far. I didn't add in here that there's a grace note right here. Okay, and he normally always slurs grace notes together with the note that follows. Okay, and then he does. Once he reaches the B, I think that's when he actually goes into single note. So he actually does D with another D there. And then he does a grace note right here. It's all slurred together. Okay, remember, you don't have to do everything. You guys can just do the slurs if you're more beginner. If you're more advanced, I would guess you'd be able to maybe put in some of this ornamentation. So that part there is. So remember I showed you guys earlier that there was that E right here. I'm starting to fill it in more. Same thing here. I would do the same thing with the F, E. Sorry, it's an F natural, by the way, too. It's not an F sharp that he does. Ba-da-ba-ba. Same thing as we did in measure 2. And then in the music, it shows that he's going to a D, but he actually works his way up into this. So he actually improvs this measure. I don't want to scribble because I'm going to screenshot this. But the first measure of the second line and the second measure of the second line, he would do a lot of different things in there as far as, but the goal would be to reach the A with a certain rhythm. So let me just explain and show you guys different ways he could do that. Like that. But you could have done it maybe this way. So that would have worked, or just playing it the way it's written would be. But yeah, if you want to play exactly like Jay Ungar did, I would suggest playing an A right here instead of a D, and then going into a B, ba, bum, then a C, kind of walk up the scale, ba, ba, bum, and then I would play these 3 notes. And you could even drone it. You could play an open D with it if you wanted. So let's see what we got so far. If you guys want to try it at home as well. All right, raise your hand if you like that so far. It's exactly how he plays it. If you guys haven't heard the recording yet, make sure check that out. I sent you guys a link earlier. Some of you guys have come a little bit late for the class. Let me quick just resend that, just to make sure you guys got the recording to this, and it's exactly the way I just played it. Here's the link. Thanks, Peter. If you guys have any questions at this time, feel free to ask. Just to make sure you guys are able to understand what I'm talking about. So everybody's at a different point. What I was mentioning for some people that just kind of came in, we have about 25 people here right now. You know, if you've been playing only, say, a year or so, it's going to be difficult for you to do all of the ornamentation that I'm putting in. And what I mean by ornamentation is basically anything that is in pink would be considered ornamentation. It's adding on to the bass notes of the piece, which makes it sound more fiddly. So a lot of fiddle music, you add in things each time you play it. It's definitely not supposed to be played the same way every time. That would be considered kind of boring and dull in the fiddle world. So we're putting in different things, and I would say so far I've put in quite a few, but I'm basing it on exactly the way that Jay Ungar plays it, which Jay Ungar is a really famous fiddle player, and he's very good. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool if you guys try to learn it exactly like him. All right, let's keep going. So we did the walk up. He actually does another drone here. So instead of doing it on the G string, we're doing it on the D string, fourth finger. So let me write that one in. So 4, open. And then anytime you have a drone in this piece, or in general really with fiddle, it should be a slide instead of just trying to nail it right in tune. So and that would slur this. Like that. So grace note here, ba, bum, bum, just like he's done before. Whenever he has an E, he always does that little turn, ba, ba, da, bum, ba, dum, bum, ba, da, dum. I would separate these two notes, the C chord, bum, ba, dum, bum. Slur those. And then what he does here is he does an open G along with this D. So he plays that as a double stop, but it's just simply your D and G strings. So let's do the second line. One thing he does a lot too is he does a lot of down sliding. So like right here, he actually down slides, and I teach that a lot in my fiddle classes. Basically what a down slide is you take the intonation that you're on and you go down into the next pitch. So that would be like this, instead of just playing, it'd be like that. This makes it sound more fiddly. So the difference, this would be without the slide. Would be like that. Raise your hand if that makes sense. All right, very good. Okay, so maybe I'll just do a few more measures and then we'll take some questions. So maybe if you guys right now are listening, just go ahead and come up with maybe a question or two to ask. I'll definitely cover those in just a moment. Okay, so he actually does this a little bit different. He actually does not play this note in this piece. He plays these two as a quarter note. So get rid of that. And he really vibratos them. But yeah, it's just improvisation. That's just changing up the melody a little bit just to be unique and your own. So I mean, he might do that different ways each time. But yeah, he does this. So if I do this, I'll start at second line. Like that. Okay, so same kind of concepts as we had before. Same thing here. Whenever you have an E, he really likes to do the little turns on the E's. And why not? Sounds good, right? Slide into the D. Lots of vibrato. Lots of vibrato. Just like that. Okay, so that kind of is the first section. Honestly, I had prepared to show you guys more, but I'm guessing that this is going to be a challenge for a lot of you just to learn that beginning. But it'd be really cool to have that down, to have it exactly like J. Ungar. So let me just play through it once, and then I'll take some questions. Like that. A couple things I realized I missed as I went through that. He does a downslide here, and then lots of vibrato on this run, every note. As much as you can, just really passionate vibrato there. So like that. Okay, maybe I'll play it one more time actually so you guys can actually see me play it once. That might maybe help some of you guys to see the techniques of what I'm doing. All right, raise your hand if you guys can see me. Oh, trying to get in the camera view here. All right, at least so you can see my right hand, my left hand. I know you won't be able to see my right this time, but at least you can see kind of how I slide into stuff. I want to play more of it. Oops. It's a beautiful piece. All right, so let's take some questions. Anybody at this time, feel free. Don't be shy. Amy says, hi, I would like to learn how to do the vibrato in the piece. Just wondering what's the best way I could do it. Yeah, so, that's a lot I could say about vibrato. I definitely don't have the time to talk fully about it, but I do have some really great resources on my website. I'll actually forward you guys to my blog, which has a really good vibrato article. .com/blog. So yeah, check out that vibrato article. It actually forwards you to a forum post as well, and it talks everything about getting a really nice vibrato going. So that's something that's definitely takes some practice. Gloria says, if you don't have time to write in all the embellishments in the piece, could you include them on your screenshot later? Yes, I'm actually going to take a screenshot, and to be able to get the screenshot, I'm going to ask you guys just to send me an email. Just let me know if you like the class or not, what you thought of it, and then I'll send you, or I'll copy over a copy of the screenshot. So I'll send you guys my email real quick. there you guys are. So feel free to do that anytime, and I'll send you guys the screenshot of what I have on what you guys see. That should be good. So yeah, we just have a few minutes left. But yeah, I definitely would be able to teach more of this piece. So if you want to learn more of it, go ahead and go to the forums and request to learn the second half of Jay Ungar's piece, being that we only had a half hour today to talk about it. But let me just show you guys exactly where to go. So if you go to violintutorpro.com/forums, you'll see a little category that says any piece will teach it, and that's where you can submit a request to learn songs, and definitely we'll spend some time teaching you guys more of it if you're interested. So I don't know if the first part's good enough for most of you, or if you want to learn more of it, so let me know. All right, and then I also have some really good classes that I want you guys to consider attending. I'm going to show my screen real quick. I should do a screenshot real quick before I lose. I don't want to lose my screenshot. But basically, these classes are based on people voting in the area that I was mentioning. That's a funny face. Let me do another screenshot. There we go. So we're going to be doing how to play Lord of the Rings, as well as Shokin Farewell. So I'm guessing a lot of you guys want to learn a Shokin Farewell. That's a really good piece. So, oops, that wasn't good. Okay, I guess I'll have to do that in a little bit. So let me send you guys links to sign up for these classes. I actually just went ahead and created a new page on my site that has some signups as far as the Lord of the Rings class and Shokin Farewell. So if you guys are interested in that class, I'm going to send you guys a link right now. So there's 2 new signups on this page. So you can sign up for next, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be teaching a Shokin Farewell. And in 2 weeks from then, I'm going to do Lord of the Rings. So that's because I got enough votes. So thanks so much for voting, and feel free to sign up for those classes. Anybody else have any questions? Thanks, Peter. Thanks so much for enjoying the class. Raise your hand if you guys enjoyed the class today. All right, raise your hand if you're going to practice the piece to try to get it just like Jay Ungar. Cool. Awesome. So at this time, what I'm going to do is actually go into onto my website and be on the live chats. So all you have to do is go to violintutorpro.com, and I will be hanging out in the chat area, which is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can click, and you can you'll populate a chat box, and basically you can meet other people that are here right now. There's about 25 people in the class right now. You can chat with others and just ask questions or just motivate each other. I'll be in there hanging out for a little bit. Feel free to do that at this time. And again, email me if you're interested in the screenshot, and let me know anything related to this class or learning the violin or fiddle. On that particular screenshot, I sent you guys, or sorry, the class area to sign up for webinars. Feel free to sign up for other ones as well. There's regular classes that we hold every week. For example, on Monday nights, we hold a beginner and Irish fiddle class. So right now we're learning Danny Boy. So if you guys are interested in that, I know it's going to be late for a lot of you guys that are in Europe time. So ideally, the classes that are going to be in 2 weeks would be ideal for you guys because it's going to be at the same time. But if you're in the U.S., definitely consider signing up for those beginner and intermediate fiddle classes. I'll send you guys the link one more time, and hopefully you guys will sign up if you enjoyed the class today. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you guys on the site. I'll be on there right now, and we will talk to you then.